Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This profound truth applies not just to how we navigate life's challenges, but also to the subtle, unspoken dynamics of human relationships. Have you ever found yourself wondering if someone finds you captivating, but hesitates to say it? Could their subtle gestures be whispering what words do not? Let me share a story. Imagine this: you're at a gathering, surrounded by conversations and laughter. You catch someone's eye across the room, and in that brief, quiet moment, there's an unmistakable connection. It's not the words exchanged, but the silence that speaks. Could that fleeting look be a sign of interest? Or is it just a coincidence? In the realm of human interaction, attraction often operates in whispers, not shouts. The Stoics teach us to be fully present, to observe not just what is said, but what is left unsaid. Seneca reminds us, nothing is burdensome if taken lightly. By practicing awareness and mindfulness, we begin to see these subtle signs of connection for what they are: opportunities to deepen understanding and cultivate meaningful relationships. Today, we'll uncover 10 clear signs that a woman might think you're attractive. These insights, inspired by Stoic philosophy, will help you approach such moments with clarity, mutual respect, and emotional composure. Along the way, I invite you to reflect on this affirmation: I accept the connection with presence and authenticity. Write it down, let it guide you, and revisit it whenever doubt arises. Thank you for tuning in to Stoic Wisdom. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more people can embrace these powerful lessons. Your feedback fuels us to create content tailored for you, our valued audience. Now, let's embark on this journey together, beginning with the first subtle sign. 1. Prolonged eye contact. Imagine yourself in a crowded room, the kind where conversations blur into a hum and movements flow like a restless river. Suddenly, amidst this sea of activity, her gaze locks onto yours, not once, but persistently. It's not just a glance, it's a deliberate moment of recognition. Eye contact is much like opening a door, an invitation to step into a shared space. Marcus Aurelius might remind us here, what we see in others is often a reflection of what we choose to notice. Through her eyes, she extends a silent yet profound offer: trust, curiosity, and a spark of vulnerability. But let's delve deeper. Have you ever stopped to think about what makes eye contact so powerful? It's not just the act of looking, it's the courage to hold that look. Epictetus might say, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. In her gaze lies the unspoken question: will you meet her halfway, or will you retreat into the comfort of avoidance? To embrace this silent connection, start small yet intentional. The next time her eyes meet yours, don't turn away as if the moment were a fleeting accident. Instead, respond with a gentle smile, a simple gesture that carries the weight of acknowledgement. Think of it like tending to a garden: you don't rush the bloom, but you nurture its growth. Let the moment breathe, as Seneca might advise. Nothing is burdensome if taken lightly. Now, ask yourself, how often do you truly look at someone, not just with your eyes, but with your presence? Are you willing to risk a moment of vulnerability to create something meaningful? Eye contact, like the sunrise, is both fleeting and infinite. It marks a beginning, a quiet exchange that words cannot capture. As you navigate these interactions, remember that the key isn't in overthinking, but in being present. Smile, hold the gaze, and let the silence speak volumes. For in that shared stillness lies the foundation of connection. As you master this art of silent communication, you'll find it naturally intertwines with the next step, mirroring body language. Just as the eyes reveal intent, the body reflects trust and harmony, a dance that deepens the unspoken connection. 2. Mirroring body language. Imagine two people engaged in an unspoken ballet, a rhythm that flows effortlessly without words, yet speaks volumes. When someone mirrors your body language, it's as though they're stepping into your world, reflecting your essence in the subtlest of ways. This silent synchronization is not mere chance, it's the body's way of saying, I see you, I understand you, and I'm with you. Marcus Aurelius might remind us here, adapt yourself to the life that has been set before you, for in this quiet dance lies the art of adapting to another's presence. Think about this, have you ever noticed someone leaning forward as you do, or folding their arms just moments after you? It's not mimicry, it's connection. Like a pair of musicians instinctively finding harmony, this mirroring signals an invisible bond, one that transcends speech and lands in the realm of mutual understanding. But why does this matter in relationships? Epictetus might argue, we are not disturbed by things, but by the view we take of them. In the context of body language, the act of mirroring tells us that the other person is attuned, comfortable, and invested in the shared moment. It's as if they're saying, your presence shapes mine. Here's a practical takeaway, pay attention to these silent cues. When she mirrors your posture or movements, it's an opportunity to deepen the connection. Lean in just slightly, allowing the rhythm between you to flow naturally. Imagine this exchange like two dancers, each movement enhancing the other, creating a dynamic that feels effortless yet intentional. Ask yourself, are you present enough to notice these subtle signs of alignment? Are you mindful of how your movements might invite or repel others? The Stoics believed in the power of awareness, urging us to observe not just the obvious, but the nuanced, for therein lies the key to deeper understanding. And so, the next time you notice her reflecting your gestures or posture, pause for a moment. Appreciate this silent affirmation of connection, and let it guide you toward a more meaningful interaction. This silent dance is but a step toward even greater harmony, for as the Stoics might suggest, laughter, the next topic, has a way of breaking down walls and building bridges. 3. Laughter. Imagine life as a tightrope stretched across the unknown, where every step requires balance and courage. In this delicate dance, laughter serves as the pole that steadies our stride, adding lightness to moments that might otherwise feel heavy. Marcus Aurelius once observed, a sense of humor is the pole that adds balance to our steps as we walk the tightrope of life. And in relationships, humor becomes more than a tool for amusement, it transforms into a bridge of connection. Picture this, you share a joke, perhaps a terrible one, the kind that makes you second-guess yourself as soon as the words leave your lips. Yet, she laughs. Not a polite chuckle, but genuine, unguarded laughter. At that moment, the joke itself becomes irrelevant. Her reaction isn't about the punchline, it's about you. Through her laughter, she's saying, I feel at ease with you. I enjoy this shared space. But why does laughter matter so deeply? Seneca might argue, life is like a play, it's not its length, but its performance that matters. Laughter is the performance, a fleeting yet powerful exchange that reveals trust, warmth, and the ability to find joy in another's company. It's a subtle invitation, a way of signaling, I am present with you at this moment. Here's the Stoic wisdom, don't strive to impress her with elaborate humor. Be genuine. authenticity carries more weight than a perfectly delivered joke. A forced attempt at humor can feel like trying to grasp water, it slips through your fingers. Instead, focus on cultivating an atmosphere where laughter flows naturally like a stream winding its way through a tranquil forest. Now, ask yourself, how often do you use humor as a means of connection rather than distraction? Are your words an invitation to share joy, or a mask to hide discomfort? The Stoics remind us to examine our intentions, for authenticity is the foundation of meaningful bonds. So, the next time she laughs at something you say, pause for a moment and savor it. Understand that her laughter is more than amusement, it's a signal of alignment, a reminder that human connection thrives in the simple joys. As you explore this playful side of communication, prepare to discover the power of subtle touches, the next layer of unspoken connection. Just as laughter breaks down walls, touch when offered with respect and intention can deepen trust and strengthen bonds. 4. Subtle touches. Imagine standing on the edge of a calm lake, tossing a pebble into the still water. The ripple that forms is delicate yet undeniable, slowly expanding outward. This is what a subtle touch feels like, a small gesture that carries a profound message. A light hand on your arm, a playful nudge, or even the briefest brush of her fingers, it's her way of saying, "I trust you enough to let you closer." As Epictetus once taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. These gestures, though silent, speak volumes about comfort and connection. Picture this moment, a conversation flows effortlessly, and in a shared laugh, she lightly places her hand on your arm. It's fleeting, almost imperceptible, yet it carries the weight of her unspoken thoughts. This touch isn't random, it's intentional. It's her way of testing the waters, of seeing if you'll meet her openness with your own. It's as though she's asking, are you attuned to this shared rhythm, or will you let it slip by unnoticed? But here's the deeper question, are you present enough to notice these subtle cues? Marcus Aurelius reminded us to be content with what you have, but mindful of what is happening around you. Presence is key. When you notice these fleeting moments, respond with quiet confidence. Perhaps it's a gentle smile or a light touch in return, not to mimic her action, but to acknowledge the connection she's offering. Think of these touches as a bridge. Like the Stoic idea of accepting what is within your control, you must approach these moments with care and intention. Overstep, and the bridge crumbles, underappreciate, and it remains unfinished. Instead, meet her gesture with respect, matching her energy without overreaching. Now, reflect, how often do you allow yourself to be fully present in these moments? Are you attuned to the language of touch, or do you let it pass by unnoticed? The Stoics remind us that life's greatest connections are often found in the smallest gestures. As you embrace the power of subtle touches, remember that they are a prelude to something deeper. Prepare to explore the next layer of connection, asking personal questions. Just as a touch closes the physical distance, thoughtful questions bridge the emotional gap, unlocking a deeper understanding of one another. 5. Asking personal questions. Picture a door, its surface is plain and unassuming, yet behind it lies a world of depth and meaning. When she asks you questions that go beyond surface-level chatter, she gently turns the handle to that door, inviting you to step through. These aren't just words, they are bridges. Questions like "What inspires you?" or "What's a memory you cherish?" are her way of saying, "I want to know the real you." As Marcus Aurelius once pondered, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig. Her questions are her way of digging, uncovering the essence of who you are. Now, imagine this moment. You're sharing a story about a challenge you overcame or a dream you've long held, and you notice her leaning in, her eyes attentive, her expression open. In that moment, she isn't just listening, she's investing. Like a Stoic reflecting on their inner world, her curiosity isn't random, it's intentional. She's exploring what lies beneath the surface, seeking to understand the values, experiences, and memories that shape you. But here's the question, are you willing to let her in? Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Fear of vulnerability can make us hesitate, but true connection requires courage. When she asks about your dreams or cherished memories, resist the urge to dismiss or deflect. Instead, see it as an opportunity, a chance to reveal your authentic self. Vulnerability, when met with sincerity, can transform a moment into a meaningful bond. Here's a practical Stoic approach. When these deeper questions arise, pause and reflect before answering. Don't rush to impress or overthink. Instead, respond with honesty and clarity. Share not just the event, but the feeling behind it. If she asks about a cherished memory, describe not only what happened, but why it matters to you. Like tending a fire, your openness can ignite the warmth of trust and intimacy. Ask yourself, how often do you take the time to ask, or answer, questions that matter? Are your conversations shallow out of habit, or are you willing to embrace the discomfort of depth? As Epictetus reminds us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Be someone who values meaningful dialogue, and watch how your relationships deepen. As you explore this layer of connection, prepare for the next step, compliments with depth. Just as personal questions open doors to intimacy, thoughtful compliments can reinforce the trust and appreciation that emerge from such conversations. 6. Compliments with depth. Imagine a calm lake at sunrise, the stillness of the water reflecting the vibrant hues of the sky. A meaningful compliment is much like a reflection, clear and sincere, that captures the essence of someone's character. When she says, "You have a calming presence," or "Your perspective is so unique," she's doing more than offering praise. She's recognizing the core of who you are, seeing beyond the surface to acknowledge something truly remarkable about you. Seneca once observed, "He who receives a benefit with gratitude repays the first installment on his debt." Compliments, when genuine, are gifts of gratitude, small yet profound acts that strengthen bonds. Think of a moment when someone offered you a compliment that stayed with you, not about your appearance, but about your character or impact. It likely lingered not because of its elegance, but because it felt real. These thoughtful observations are like seeds, planted to nurture trust and connection. When she notices and articulates something about you that goes deeper, your calm demeanor, your unique perspective, it's her way of saying, "I value what makes you, you." Now, here's the challenge, are you open to accepting these compliments fully? Marcus Aurelius urged us to receive wealth without arrogance and be ready to let it go. Compliments are much the same, they must be received with humility, without allowing them to inflate our ego, yet with enough openness to let them enrich our connections. Practical Stoic advice? Respond with gratitude, but don't overanalyze or deflect. A simple, heartfelt thank you, that means a lot, acknowledges her words without diminishing their value. Pay attention to how these moments unfold. If her compliment is specific and deliberate, consider returning the gesture, not as an obligation, but as an authentic reflection of what you admire about her. Ask yourself, how often do you offer compliments with depth? Do your words uplift others by acknowledging their essence, or do they remain confined to surface-level observations? As Epictetus taught, first learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. Thoughtful words carry the power to transform relationships. As you reflect on the impact of meaningful compliments, prepare for the next layer of connection, nervous energy. Just as sincere acknowledgement steadies the foundation of trust, understanding and managing nervous energy can unlock a new level of emotional connection. 7. Nervous energy. Picture a bird fluttering its wings before it takes flight, uncertain but eager. Nervous energy in a person mirrors that same raw, unpolished beauty, a visible sign of vulnerability and excitement. When she adjusts her hair, fidgets with her hands, or stumbles over her words, it's not a flaw, but a reflection of the significance you hold in her world. These small gestures speak louder than words ever could. They reveal that your presence affects her, a truth that Marcus Aurelius might frame as what stands in the way becomes the way. In her nervousness lies the path to a deeper connection. Think back to a time when you felt your heart race or your words falter in front of someone who mattered to you. Wasn't that imperfection a sign of something real, something meaningful? Nervous energy, like the shimmering surface of a river, doesn't diminish its depth. Instead, it signals motion, life happening in real time. It's the essence of being human, stripped of pretenses. But here's the critical question: how do you respond when you notice this in her? Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you see her fidget or stumble, resist the urge to judge or misinterpret. Instead, lead with calm. Let your composure be the anchor in the moment. A steady demeanor not only reassures her, but also creates a safe space for vulnerability to thrive. Here's practical wisdom rooted in Stoic thought: in moments when her nervous energy surfaces, pause and reflect on the bigger picture. Respond with understanding, not pressure. A warm smile or a simple, steady presence can speak volumes. Just as the Stoics emphasized controlling what lies within us, your calm energy can influence the atmosphere, transforming her nervousness into a shared moment of connection. Ask yourself, are you attuned enough to recognize the beauty in imperfection? Do you lead with patience and calm, or do you let her nervousness mirror your own? As Seneca might advise, a great mind becomes a great guide. And as you steady this connection, prepare for what follows: going out of her way. Just as nervous energy reveals vulnerability, acts of effort and intention illuminate the depth of her interest and investment in you. 8. Going out of her way. Imagine time as a river, flowing steadily and irreversibly. It's the one resource we cannot reclaim, no matter how much wealth or power we possess. The Stoics, particularly Seneca, often reminded us of its value. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. When she adjusts her schedule, takes an extra step to see you, or finds small ways to show up in your life, she's offering you a piece of that finite river, a gift more precious than any material possession. Picture this moment: you casually mention needing help with something, and she offers her time without hesitation. Or perhaps she rearranges her plans just to spend an extra hour with you. These aren't just acts of convenience, they're deliberate choices. In doing so, she's saying, "You matter enough for me to prioritize you." It's a reflection of care and intention, much like tending a fire to ensure it burns brightly. But here's the question: how do you honor this gift? Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of gratitude. Take full account of what excellences you possess, and in gratitude remember how you would hanker after them if you had them not. Recognizing her effort isn't just about saying thank you, it's about understanding the depth of her gesture. Gratitude is the bridge that turns one-sided effort into mutual connection. Here's the Stoic approach to responding: acknowledge her effort sincerely. This doesn't mean grand gestures in return, but rather reciprocating in ways that align with her priorities and values. If she goes out of her way for you, consider how you can do the same for her, whether through your time, support, or presence. Relationships are built on reciprocity, where each act of giving and receiving strengthens the foundation. Now, ask yourself, are you mindful of how others show their care for you? Do you respond with equal effort, or do you take their actions for granted? Epictetus might remind us, what is given to you is not yours to waste. Every act of prioritization deserves to be met with acknowledgement and care. As you reflect on this, prepare for the next stage, friends teasing. Just as time reveals priority, playful teasing among friends can uncover hidden layers of interest and connection, adding depth to your interactions. 9. Friends teasing. Imagine walking across a suspension bridge, its swaying movement a mix of uncertainty and stability. In relationships, a friend's playful teasing often acts as that bridge, connecting two people while revealing what might otherwise remain unspoken. When her friends tease her about you, it's not mere jest, it's a subtle acknowledgement, a reflection of something more profound beneath the surface. As Epictetus wisely observed, take notice of the company she keeps, they often reflect her intentions. Picture this: you're at a gathering, and one of her friends makes a light-hearted comment, perhaps something like, "Oh, so you're the one she keeps talking about." It's playful on the surface, yet it carries an undertone of approval and encouragement. Social circles, like mirrors, often reflect feelings that are not easily expressed directly. Her friends are signaling something deeper, a recognition of her interest, and perhaps even a gentle nudge for her to explore it further. But here's the question: how do you navigate this dynamic? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. When faced with teasing from her friends, the best approach is not to deflect or overreact, but to remain composed and authentic. Let your actions reflect your character, showing that you're someone worth their approval. Practical Stoic advice: see her friends teasing as an opportunity rather than a challenge. Acknowledge their humor with a smile or a light response, but don't feel pressured to perform. Authenticity will always outshine clever comebacks. At the same time, observe how she reacts to their comments. Does she laugh nervously, blush, or try to steer the conversation away? These subtle cues can offer insight into her feelings and how comfortable she is with her emotions being noticed. Ask yourself, are you aware of how her social circle influences your connection? Do you approach these moments with humility and calm, or do you let pride or nerves cloud your actions? As Seneca might advise, a wise man listens more than he speaks. As you master this balance of observation and action, prepare to elevate the connection further with elevated presentation. Just as friends can serve as bridges, the way you carry yourself can solidify their approval and deepen the connection. 10. Elevated presentation. Imagine an artist preparing their canvas, each brushstroke deliberate and every color chosen with care. When she puts extra effort into her appearance knowing you'll be around, it's not vanity, it's artistry. It's her way of saying, without words, I care about how you see me. As Marcus Aurelius would remind us, look beneath the surface, let not the quality of the outward form escape you. Her effort is not about superficial beauty but about expressing admiration and a desire to connect. Picture this: you meet her at a casual gathering, and something about her stands out. Perhaps it's the way she styled her hair, the careful choice of attire, or even a subtle fragrance that lingers in the air. These are not random details, they are intentional acts of thoughtfulness. Much like a Stoic craft their inner character, she's shaping the outer to reflect her respect for the moment and you. But here's the question: do you notice these efforts, or do they go unacknowledged? Seneca once said, "He who is not grateful for little is not likely to be grateful for much." A simple, sincere compliment, "You look great today," or "I noticed the effort you put in," can speak volumes. It's not about flattery, but about acknowledgement, a recognition of the care she's taken to be present in her best light. Here's practical wisdom rooted in Stoic thought: observe her effort with gratitude, not judgment. Avoid assumptions about why she's gone the extra mile and instead appreciate it as a reflection of the value she places on your interactions. Just as the Stoics teach us to find meaning in small acts, recognize this as her way of strengthening the connection. Ask yourself, how often do you truly see and appreciate the subtle gestures of those around you? Are you present enough to notice when someone goes out of their way, or do you let these moments pass unnoticed? Epictetus might urge, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Her efforts reflect who she is and how she values the connection. As you embrace this perspective, remember to carry this appreciation into every interaction. Genuine acknowledgement lays the groundwork for deeper trust, which transitions naturally into your next lesson in connection. In the subtle dance of human connection, the signs of intrigue often whisper rather than shout. As the Stoics teach us, true understanding arises not from frantic analysis, but from mindful presence. Each gaze, gesture, and word carries meaning, revealing not just the interest of others, but also the depths of our own capacity to perceive. Attraction, as Marcus Aurelius might remind us, is less about possession and more about cultivating a space where authenticity can thrive. Recognizing these signs is not about manipulation or control, it is about alignment, where respect meets curiosity, and vulnerability finds reassurance. When she offers her time, laughter, or even a subtle touch, she isn't just reaching out to you, she's inviting you to step into a moment of shared humanity. The Stoic path calls us to meet such moments with grace, humility, and gratitude, for they are fleeting yet profound. So, let these principles guide you, not to chase or conquer, but to nurture and understand. See her nervous energy as courage, her questions as an open door, and her efforts as a reflection of the value she places on your connection. Remember, the art of meaningful relationships lies not in grand gestures, but in quiet, consistent presence. Now, I invite you to reflect on this affirmation: I embrace connection with presence and authenticity. Write it down, let it guide you, and return to it when in doubt. Thank you for being part of this journey. If you've noticed these subtle signs in your own life, share your story in the comments below. Let's inspire one another to grow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can spread Stoic wisdom to even more seekers of truth and understanding.